Hey, honey, are you all packed for a trip around the galaxy?
I am. I've got my guide and I've got my towel. See? It's the Bible. Basic instructions before leaving Earth. And it tells you not to panic hundreds of times. I've also got my towel here, which may not work so well as a blanket, but it is a weapon.
Hi, I'm Tyler.
And I'm Sadie with the Great Catholic Book Club, and welcome to our inaugural year.
We are really excited about this. In this video, we're going to be discussing our theme for the year, the books we've chosen, and our first book, The Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy.
Yep, so let's get, also, we have to be quiet because our baby is sleeping right there. It's like 11:30 at night, and this was the only time that we were both going to be in the video. So the kids are sleeping. All right, so anyway, if you got the study guide, either the downloaded version or the print version, if you got the print version, so we accidentally sent the copy that had not been proofed to the printer. We're new at this. It still looks really, really good. Let's get into it.
Absolutely brilliant. You will enjoy it.
And it's beautifully designed, too.
Our first book, as we mentioned, is The Hitchhiker.
Oh, wait, no. We're going to talk about our theme first. Oh, wait, I just started to open it up and talk. We're going to talk about our theme first. Wait, that is what we're going to do. Okay, So Proto-Evangelium is our theme, and that comes from the scriptures.
I will put enmity between you and the woman, and between your offspring and hers. He will strike your head, and you will strike his heel. Genesis 3:15. This is the Proto-Evangelium. This is what's known as the first gospel. This is where we first see that God has a plan to fix what went wrong in the garden.
Yeah, and Adam and Eve did not understand, right? So here's God communicating to them, telling them, I have all this information to tell you. You're not in a place to be able to understand. You need to be taught, and you need to be brought to that place where you can understand. That was perfect for us to call our first year and all the books that we chose the Proto-Evangelium, because these were books that we grew up with or we read later in life. But now that we've come to the church, we can really see all the beautiful truths in them. So we're going to go over all the books that we chose.
The first book we chose for January is The Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy. This is one that we both picked just because it's a fun, zany adventure.
It's funny. It's funny British humor for people who think British humor is funny. Yeah.
And it raises some really important questions that are worth thinking about. The next book for February, we chose Ender's Game. I chose that. I wanted that to be on the list because
it's always been one of your favorite books.
Yeah, it's been one of my favorite books since I was a kid. And I like the way that Ender approaches problems. And I really like the ending, which I'm not going to spoil in this video, but that's worth talking about.
Yeah, I chose Watchmen. I've never been a comic book person, except for those Archie and like Betty and Veronica comics that they would sell in the checkout line at grocery stores.
This is very different.
Yeah, Watchmen is not like the Archie comics at all. Mature content warning.
Next, we have Pride and Prejudice. This is a book that I chose because it's been so important to our marriage.
Yeah, I asked him to read it for the first time, and he read it, and he was like, so I was waiting for something to happen in the book, and it was like, a lot of things happened. They talked about their feelings, and then they changed them. Brave New World is one of my favorite books. I actually read it for the first time in high school, but I wanted to revisit this book now that we're in the church.
Jurassic Park is one of my favorite books growing up. This is one that I chose. I was so into this book that I read the novel, I watched the movie, and then I read the novelization of the movie.
Which I didn't know was a thing that they did, but if they can make money off of it, they'll do it. Yeah.
And this is, reading it again as a Catholic, there's a lot of really surprisingly Catholic themes in this that I'm really excited to talk about.
The next one is Foundation. I chose this book. I love Isaac Asimov. He is one of my favorite authors. His books just are so... I can't say that he's much of a character author, but as an ideas author. And I really want to examine this book through the light of the scripture and the teachings of the church. Yeah.
I wanted The Bourne Identity included. That's our next book. I like the themes of putting on the new man. of reckoning with the things we've done in our past and who we are now in light of our past actions and how do we choose to go forward from that?
Yeah, and I was actually a huge Robert Ludlum nerd. I read all of, those like cheesy spy thrillers, and I don't think I ever really understood. The Bourne Identity is actually pretty deep. I chose Dune. I always loved Dune for its exploration, its very cynical view of religion as a tool of manipulation.
Next up is The Martian. This is a book I selected. Been one of my favorite books since I first read it. It's the newest book on this list by a couple decades.
Yeah.
The themes of perseverance, of problem solving. Mark Watney never gives up. That's been such a kind of a guiding star in my life.
And we went when we were dating, I think, or like early on in marriage, we went and saw the movie. I wasn't sure how I'd feel about a movie of just a guy stuck on another planet solving engineering problems. But it's a surprisingly just beautiful affirmation of life and human ingenuity. And then The Great Divorce, we both chose that. Actually, so this is the one book on the list that we read after we came to the church, when we were both in RCIA, now it's OCIA. And it's the only explicitly Christian book on the list. But this was the book that really helped bring everything home as we were learning about the faith. It helped us understand, the full light of the teachings.
So we've got some really good books lined up this year, and I'm very excited to read them and to discuss them with you. Let's talk about The Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy.
Yeah, the first book, Life, the Universe, and Everything. We're discussing the theme of the purpose of creation with this book. The main thing I wanted to focus on is we have divine revelation, right? But before we came to the church, I did not have divine revelation, right? Well, neither did you.
Right.
We were really in the same position as the people in the book of, I don't understand why I'm here. I don't understand the purpose of life. What do you do in the absence of that? Or if the Lord has revealed himself, you don't believe or don't know how to access or believe what he's revealed, so it might as well not exist.
And people are still going to ask questions, right? You're still going to have those questions about why are we here? What is this life for? What is the purpose? What is the purpose of life, the universe, and everything? And so how do you go about answering those questions in a world without divine revelation? That
longing to want to understand why we're here and using very human means to do it. And the means that they use in the book make perfect sense. Of course, we would use our technology. We would use our human intellect to try to figure it out. But the other themes of the book are, here are some people who really want to understand the meaning of life, the universe, and everything. And then here are people that really want to profit off of that longing and need in really funny ways, but in also really recognizably heartbreaking ways. I coined the phrase of like, profits for profit or profiteering. He tells me I'm clever, and that just encourages it. So then I come up with dad puns, which is actually your job.
Yes.
Yeah. So the other the four main characters, Zaphod Beeblebrox, Trillian, Ford Prefect, and Arthur Dent, they actually don't fall into either of these categories. They don't seem too interested in wanting to know the meaning of life, the universe, and everything. They also don't have any interest really in exploiting people who want to know that. They're outside observers that are much more concerned with the day-to-day personal problems they face. They're not really thinking about big picture issues. I think they're more of a representation of the average person.
Yeah. As far as like life, the universe, and everything goes, they're kind of just along for the ride. They're really interested in their immediate needs, in whatever problem is right in front of them, and they're not really thinking about that long game.
No, and a lot of the problems in front of them are reasonable to immediately be concerned about. Like your house is about to get torn down, or you can't seem to get off of this planet that you're stranded on. These are reasonable things to find concerning and maybe consuming the majority of your conscious considerations.
Yeah. How often do we get caught up in that? These everyday concerns of how am I going to get through my day, right? How am I going to do what I need to do at work, come home, be with the kids, be with my wife?
So how much of your day are you going to pause and say, I'd really like to think about God right now, and why I exist and what the whole point of life is? That's even having that desire, wanting to know that, that is that longing that's written in our hearts. Yeah. And that's how you start. It's a really wonderful book to start with for. And so many atheists love this book, and so many people who have left the church love this book. And I think it's because you can't get that need to know why you exist and whether it's good. Is it good that you exist? You know, and luckily we know the answer to that, and that's really beautiful. So we're really looking forward to getting to discuss The Hitchhiker's Guide with you guys on Monday, the 27th.
Yep, Monday, January 27th. People who are signed up for the book club will be getting a Zoom link in their email.
Now we've run out of things to say, and I don't know how our kids have let us talk for this long. It's kind of a miracle. I think the Lord wanted us to finally be able to get, and this is like our 4th trying to do this. The end. We'll see you in the next one.
Yep. God
and
bless
on the
you.
27th. God bless you. Bye.
Yep. Bye.